Mina was included in one of the last videos that would be uploaded to JETRAY 102, and one of the first for the new channel. Let's see how that goes as the number rises from 102 to 103. See, I'm not sure what was going on. I'm not sure if it was like an email issue or a YouTube issue, but I found it nearly impossible to upload videos, and not only that, very difficult to sign back in until one time I signed out and I was not able to get back in for whatever reason. I still don't know what was going on. And since now you have to use your email to sign in, I don't think I remember that email. So that channel is now just sitting there. I was upset, I was very young, and my sister and her friend noticed this, and my sister's friend let me use her email to make a new channel, and get ready for the name here, JETRAY 103. Oh boy.
JETRAY 102 is back, baby.
Essentially with JETRAY 103, I just continue where I left off, but like, I didn't continue main in my series, I didn't continue Code Smash, I didn't continue Jettober, though I would bring Nat back that same year with the return of Nat.
No. Long time no see, JETRAY. Remember me?
2010 is also a very significant year in the sense that Tug the Penguin was introduced. He's our mascot of Crimson Kingdom, but back then he was called Mr. Tuggles, and he wasn't meant to be anything big, he was just meant to be a goofy character. He was based on Make Me Bad 35. He was a user that did primarily comedy skits, and he had many different characters like Mr. Wooden Alligator, the Magical Giraffe, where he brought inanimate objects and brought them to life, and that's what I wanted to do with Mr. Tuggles. The whole gag is that he would constantly get on camera, and every time he did, I would do what I'd call the beating of a lifetime, which I believe was based on the Cartoon Network show Chowder, and there was a character on there called Chestnut who every now and then would say, "I'm gonna give you the beating of a lifetime." That's where the idea of that line came from.
Quick! The show's been canceled! I need everyone to get out as soon as possible!
Man, what you doing tearing up Chestnut's chandelier like that? Chestnut's about to give you the beating of a lifetime.
But later that year, something awful happened. We had a house fire. There was a huge Halloween decoration, this big guy that would essentially be crouching over top of things. He was huge too, but eventually he caught a flame because of a candle that was under him, and the house burned down. Tug was inside, but he survived, as you probably already know. He's just now stained, his belly is now brownish, and he can't stand up on his own anymore because his body, I guess, kind of morphed because of the burning. And also all those cassette-sized taped VCR tapes that would go to my older camera were inside, so that's why I couldn't show you any more footage. Those were destroyed. Remarkably, my Game Boy Advance SP works perfectly fine, and that was in the middle of the fire. It was just standing right there where the flames were peeking into my room. And it still works just fine. It's a miracle. And my DS too. For many months while the house was being rebuilt, we had to live in a place called Jacob's Mill in a small trailer. I believe it was around this time I had already created a web series called Life with Organization 13, which is essentially this awful series where I try to be like, oh, here's what the organization does in their off days, except I wouldn't have any wigs or any real indication of who's who. So I just had the Organization 13 code, and at the very beginning, I didn't even have that. It was just me in like a black sweatshirt being like, I'm Zolden running around. They were awful, but also kind of fun to make. I'll admit it was one of the funnest series I did, and I did it for a long time. I believe lasted for 3 seasons. I also got chased by a drunk bastard the later year because of Life in Organization 13. I'll talk about that another day. Well, this of course was a very important year. Life in Organization 13, a new channel, an unfortunate house fire, and most importantly, me. But eventually the house was rebuilt, and with a new house came a new Zach. He changed forever, for he discovered the Gothic subculture. In 2011, the house was rebuilt, and I would essentially go through self-improvement. I wouldn't be uploading as much, so I can't really say there was a lot of stuff that happened that year. I know I was trying to be more experimental. I wanted to be a director at that point in time. Nowadays, I have more of a distaste for live action. I don't hate it, but I just don't really find it as fun to work with as animation. But anyway, at that point in time, I was experimenting. I wasn't uploading as much on YouTube, and I was trying to do self-improvement. I'll tell you guys something. During those years of JETRAY 102 and before, I was a disgusting little cunt. And let me just go ahead and tell you, I didn't brush my teeth at all. I brushed my teeth like once a month maybe. I rarely ever washed my hair. When I got into the shower, I just stood there. I never put on deodorant, so I was like this disgusting little blob. Also, I drank like 12 cans of Mountain Dew a day, so I was really bloated too. And I wore clothes that were way too big for me. Not that that was really that much of a problem in comparison to the other things. It all started because I wanted to grow my hair out, and my mom said, if you want to grow your hair out, you're gonna have to take care of it. So I eventually just started washing my hair. And that same year, I was fed up with getting all these fillings at the dentist, so I just stopped drinking soda, which improved my dental health, and also slimmed me up into the size of a toothpick to the point where everyone will make jokes saying, oh, Zach, you're gonna fall through your asshole. And I got so tired of that so quickly. And this was all because I wanted to get into the Gothic subculture, even though arguably my first attempt was more emo or punk than anything else. But it was thanks to the Gothic subculture that I was able to improve my physical health. I was able to actually take care of myself. I was able to brush my teeth, wash my hair, and all that. And I still do that today. Don't worry. If you're grossed out, just remember I was like 14. Not really as much of an excuse, but I'm 22 now, so... And I take care of myself regularly. I can't go a day without having a shower because I'll feel weird and stingy. But anyway, moving on. But this wouldn't be too great. I would improve myself health-wise, but my mental health would get worse. I'd be suffering from depression and anxiety even more than ever before, to the point where it had become suicidal. It was, I believe, the end of the year, and there was a lot of stuff going on. A student had just died. I was going through all these complicated feelings, and I didn't know how to regulate my emotions or how to handle certain things. So I went behind a stairwell in the school where nobody could see me, and I didn't do anything like swallow a bunch of pills or hang myself. I got the strings that were on my sweatshirt and attempted to strangle myself. I knocked myself unconscious, and the other teachers found me. They brought me up, and ever since then I wasn't able to wear strings on sweatshirts anymore. And what made things worse was the fact that it seemed like nobody cared. When I came back to school, no one asked like, hey, are you okay? Do you need to talk? It's just like everyone just moved on, and that really hurt me because even some of my closest friends wouldn't say anything. And I understand like they probably didn't want to get involved, but it's just, it hurt me to know that people didn't really care about the fact that I was going through so much trouble that I was going to do that to myself. And that hurt me even more than what I was feeling before the attempt. I didn't attempt it again because I had learned my lesson at that point, but still. And what would be worse is that I would actually go through a fight in school during lunchtime, and when I came back from being suspended, people would constantly walk up to me and say, hey, good job, but what was it like? They cared more about the fact I got into a fight than the fact that I was so upset that it felt as if the only thing I needed to do was to kill myself. And that also sent me into another, what I like to call my first real hiatus, 2012 specifically.
Well, fuck. That was a little depressing. Let's take it to our next guest.
I'll take it from here. Besides, we're getting to my important year soon.
Alright, but I don't think you can handle this.
Oh, I'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? Now here's an old friend we haven't seen for a while, making his return after 7 years. David McKenzie.
How did you and Zachary first meet?
Well, back in my day, I was a little shit, and my sister took me along, and I met this other little shit. And he was a funny guy. And I always knew that fucked. He had some skill with the camera, and on YouTube, he just made it somewhere.
What was your favorite memory of the JETRAY era?
Of the channel. Now, if I want to go for the channel, I'd say probably the binocular video that I was, and we went into McDonald's, took some binoculars, and just ordered some food, looking at the menu with the binoculars.
I don't like it. Double cheeseburger, just ketchup, and
Oh my god, David!
a large Sprite. Thank you, that's it.
Now, best time with Zach, I don't know, there's been times where we've been floating around in that hearse. Like, back in the fucking day, in the hearse. Wow, yeah, there's a funeral car. Fuck, you can edit this to make it look way better.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Governor.
Did you expect things to go this far?
Now, I never thought that they wouldn't, but I never really expected shit. And the fact that you have made this far has not surprised me, because I keep an update on YouTube. I just watch the channels. I've seen fucking, I've seen Cow Chop go from fucking nothing to 1,000 to then to 1 million, and now I've seen fucking Markiplier grow. I've seen all of them grow when YouTube was fucking nothing, and when you see growth, you can't really deny that. I've seen your channel grow, dude. Like, it's like, wow. So I didn't really expect it, but I didn't think that it wouldn't happen.
What is it that you're doing with your life right now?
What am I doing with my life? Fuck. Yeah, see me, I'm just growing plants. I'm growing fruit. I'm cloning fruit plants, trying to figure out what the hell to do with my life. Now, where that takes me, I don't know. As far as, like, where I am in comparison to you, I'd say you got your shit a little more together than me. You're a little more self-sufficient. Like, you're able to stand on your own a little more. But as far as where I'm at in my life, I can't complain. I got plants to grow. I got chickens to feed. It's about that.
Well, that was a nice blast from the past. Now to move on to the year the world ended. And what I mean by that is Zach's life in Pennsylvania. That's right. In late 2012, Zach moved almost 3,000 miles away to Washington State to get a fresh start.
And that's where I came in.